these things are dangerous, especially because the way I choreograph, it took a couple of days to choreograph, and then a week or so of rehearsals to bring it up to speed with all the stunt guys. And you work it slowly, you build it up very slowly over the first couple of days. You start to put the speed in. Some of the weapons will be rubber if it's particularly near the fingers and things like that, so you use rubber weapons. Most of the time you try to use the metal weapons so it feels more authentic. I've been so lucky. We were talking at the beginning, you said, how was Matt Damon? And I've been so lucky because Russell Crowe, very physical. Tom Cruise, really physical and put so much time in. I spent 7 months with Tom Cruise before we started a day of filming on Last Samurai just to go through everything with him. Matt Damon. So you go through all these, as I said, Tom Cruise, Matt Damon, Russell Crowe. You go through it, and I've just been really lucky to work with these guys that want to put that time in, the effort.
Would you say those guys, like, this is funny that from what I found, those top actors in some ways, they have a very straight, there's a determination there, right? So I feel like it's not that they're natural, but they almost have it almost seems natural ability for them to catch on to like certain sports or like or certain, like, whether it's fighting, like you're saying Tom Cruise, you're saying Matt Damon, these guys. Would you say there's a natural ability there, or is it a determination with them? What would you say?
I think it's kind of a mix of both. I mean, some of them is, it's that you can't allow yourself to fail sort of attitude, but at the same time, it doesn't matter if you have that determination if you don't have the ability, because the time factor, when you teach someone, you've done martial arts, you teach someone to kick. The first month or two, it starts to look like they're kicking a little bit. The second, the third month, okay, they're starting to feel like they're moving. The fourth, fifth, sixth month, you're starting to sort of go, okay, they're starting to look a little bit like a martial artist now. But you see somebody who's been doing it I can tell literally someone who's a real martial artist walks in and they just move. They just move a little bit with their body, how their head's moving, how their hands are moving, the way their hip moves when they kick. In 5-10 seconds, I can go, that's a martial artist. And to teach someone to look like that in just a few months is really difficult if they don't have some innate ability, some physicality to sort of translate that to. And whether it's, Russell doing his rugby and cricket and everything else when he was a kid and stuff, and then, putting his sort of physicality to it. Tom Cruise just is a good all-round natural athlete. I mean, you look at Tom Cruise and he learned the sword work really quick, but all his fights are there. He's he drives amazingly. He rides motorcycles amazingly. He teaches himself to fly, or at least someone teaches him to fly planes, helicopters. He doesn't, he's just so focused on him being the guy that the sort of everything else is blocked out. It's just, that's what he's got to do. And that's, to me, those are the best actors, whether it's a physical ability or not. I mean, there's great actors out there that don't do a lot of physical sort of, violent work in terms of fights and things like that. But it's still, there's an innate ability to translate whatever it is that's coming in as a character to keep that going. So as an actor, you put yourself into that mindset, and it's like, now I'm a boxer. For the next 9-10 months, I'm a boxer. I have to think like a boxer. I have to move like a boxer. I have to eat like a boxer. And that's what makes the difference. And people like your Tom Cruises and your Matt Damons and your Russell Crowes and those guys, they do put themselves into that because it's their legacy. In the end, you're going to watch their movie